It's time to focus on the things you need, the things you deserve. You deserve a healthy body, supplements that get you moving and keep you moving, that make you feel good, look good, do good. And they shouldn't contain GMOs, artificial ingredients, or heavy metals, ever. Supplements that are clinically studied, use proven absorption technologies, are designed by scientists, and are ethically sourced and produced. Supplements with everything you need, nothing you don't. You deserve a company that you can trust, that's dedicated to safe manufacturing practices and third-party testing, that ensures the highest quality of effectiveness from extraction of ingredients all the way to the composition of the packaging. Wait a second. You deserve to see the process. You deserve a company led by a CEO with a deep belief in the power of people, dedicated to inspiring entrepreneurs to achieve success. A company with a phytonutrient chemist and expert on natural molecules who is obsessed with human health and has your best interest in mind to design its products. A board comprised of talented doctors from around the world. You deserve to be surrounded by people you trust and look up to. Empowered ambassadors that inspire wellness every day. Leaders who are rooting for you to be the best version of yourself. A community that works hard and plays hard. You deserve to experience adventures that take you around the world, and you deserve to be recognized for your hard work. It's time to get what you deserve. It's time to shift your focus. 3.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Samson Li coming to you from Los Angeles, California. Welcome to today's Empowerment Tuesday. My pleasure, my honor to be in front of you for the next maybe 20 minutes to half an hour to share with you things from my experience and my knowledge base that has gotten me my success, and I've seen other people use it to become successful. So let me just start it off. Today's topic, it's on the global business landscape. I've been, as some of you know, I travel all over the world building our 3 international business, and have worked with people from all walks of life, from all ethnicity, from all education levels. And it's one of the most rewarding things I can say, that I find my own joy in this business. So now the next half hour, I'm going to share with you maybe some of my observations and really try to reveal to all of you how this business is actually global and how each of you can build global. What I love to do is break things down into nuggets, because first of all, you have kind of, in a way, in any business, to understand, to learn from whoever teaches the business. It's good to know why or where they come from, right? So many years ago, one of my favorite authors and thought leaders out there in terms of leadership is a gentleman called Simon Sinek, Sinek. I do encourage any of you like to read or really learn about the core principles of actually how we build. He had, when I was making a lot of money, and I found in 2014 his TED Talk, Start With Why, it really made an impact. And not that it was additional information, but it actually clarified for me exactly what me and Kim and many others in our team have been doing for years. So, and as it's now, some of the most successful ideas or maybe principles are very universal and maybe so simple that many of us missed as we go searching for a path to success. I think when I look back many years ago in my 20s and 30s, I was looking for how to get ahead, especially some of you know when I had lost everything in my retail business. I mean, literally everything. And I was definitely open to opportunities or knowledge, or always think about how I can do better. So, but maybe I'm also one of those rare people where negativity kind of bounces off of me in a way. So I'm pretty resilient. So now, where I like to start off is talk about building this global, what's out there in the global landscape and building a 3 business in this global landscape. is that sometimes the business can be as simple as you think it could be. And many of us complicate it. And that was what sometimes make it a complicated business. Okay. I want to share with you, because recently I was just in Toronto, and I don't know, maybe the people I'm going to talk about, maybe they're on the Zoom. So I was in Toronto. And I have quite a few partners. It was just a quick stop, and I want to, touch bases as I had a big event in Chicago, which is right across the lake, right? So I was there, and the last day, the last few hours before I left, I met a lovely lady and her mom. They've been in Toronto for many years, originally from Trinidad, and I was speaking with them, with my good partner Dennis, and they were talking about Jackie, if you don't mind me sharing, was talking about how the products really helped her discomfort. I mean, she could barely walk, and when it comes on, the pain will come on for days and days and days. I'm not, going to mention the condition, that's her privacy, but she was noticeably almost disabled in terms of walking in pain, or even getting out and getting out of the house, or even going down the stairs. And when she told me about it, I was so happy that the three products can relieve her discomfort. And her family saw the difference in her. Her church people saw the difference in her. Her co-workers saw the difference in her. And all of a sudden, she was so happy, so elated, because she had tried all kinds of things, from drugs that are over the counter to supplements to all kinds of things, and or prescription, and nothing could work for her. And sometimes the discomfort could last for days. So maybe some of you kind of know what I'm talking about if you have it too. So she was referred by a friend from church, and then this lady who referred her was a transplant from Singapore to Toronto. And then she just happened to be out of the country, and she just shared it with her before she left. And all of a sudden, because the products work so well, she started sharing with her parents. Of course, elderly people need their help. Also share with her sister and brother-in-law. And the other day when I was there, she put me on the phone with a coworker of hers. And sometimes, what, seeing is believing, right? For most people. But if it's happening to somebody, that means for sure 100% the products work. And I think many of us, I want to make this point because many of us, we have a lot of doubts, right? And if we're going to reach for something that we've never done before, or try a business that we've never done before and just go ahead and do it, we have a lot of doubts, regardless if it's rational or irrational. And a lot of people, they're even afraid to open their mouth because they're worried about how other people think about them. Well, what I've found out over the years, and look, this is on my own journey, right? I was like that many years ago. But what I found is I don't need to feel like that anymore. And the reason is because I've seen over and over again. Look, we are serious business people. Why we started three, and how we started it, and with what we have in three, we foresee it to be the foundation of a multi-billion dollar company. And as some of you know our track record, we've done billions and billions and billions in sales before. So we don't want just get anything off the shelf, or anything that's not credible. And I think we're very fortunate with Dr. Dan Gubler. The products and the science that we have are extremely credible. I mean, I cannot think of any company that would provide these kind of resources that can substantiate our product and science when it's necessary. I know there's a thought, oh, if it's too complicated, that most people can't do it. That's right. That's why all we have to do is just be backed up by the documents that Dr. Dan, the clinical studies, the research that's behind the product, and the videos that Dr. Dan has done to build our business. So we don't do the explaining, okay? Don't play doctor. So second, well, when Jackie simply shared with her parents, and then her parents shared with other people, her sister, her brother-in-law, and then our coworker, well, seeing is believing. But I think many times, like, many of us um, just forgot that we can share. Now, given that, if I was, I mean, right now I'm 55, if I was 15 years ago, I was 40 years old, I was very healthy, it's hard for me to see much difference. Well, maybe a little bit, maybe, yeah, does it work? Maybe it works. But to be honest, the products absolutely work because by the time I went to Chicago, there's another round of crazy testimonials. Okay. So I know the products work. If you don't feel it in your heart yet, well, I don't know. You kind of almost have to make a decision. When we first started, we got as many people to use it as possible. So I can see what's happening, especially people with health challenges. You want to help them. So, I mean, my own personal testimony I've said many times is, I used to have the frozen shoulder and it comes, I mean, when it comes, it's very painful. I'll be in pain for like a day or two. But since I started on three, these kind of things never happen like that anymore. Even if I have a slight inkling of aching, I get on, I take a little extra, I double up on some of the products and it goes away, probably 80 to 90%. I'm feeling great. And then after a little bit, it's completely gone. So it's been a life changer for me. So, there's a lot of testimonies out there. So look, we are in the business of proactive wellness. So that means these products are designed to keep you healthy before you get sick. But if you happen to have a condition, maybe that, your body lacks this or that, or maybe lifestyle or just aging, well, the products help support many things that our body does by itself. If it has the right ingredients, because it's science. It's not magic, it's science. When Dr. Dan talk about which molecule goes to where and how it gets into the cell and clinical testing, how it can modulate the genes in our DNA, well, absolutely works. And my point is this, if it works like that, so what's your excuse, right? Just share. Somebody with a good testimony. And Wellness Wednesday, week after week after week, we have amazing stories. So I think, look, not everybody will act the same way. Our products don't cure, prevent, or diagnose any disease. But it helps simply to support how our body can rejuvenate itself. That's all. And people have gotten tremendous results. So going back to the point, look, I was in Toronto, then I went to Chicago. Yeah, it's international already. And over the years, I've traveled over and over again to country after country after country. And in three, especially, just so many and so busy. And we have fantastic partners all over the world. What I would say is this: look, in the global landscape, and we're going to release a little short clips on YouTube within the next couple of days, is that once you realize that people in other parts of the world, in other parts of the country, they actually are just like you and me. They want the same thing. And sometimes it could be that simple that they want, the one word that they want. They go all out to get it. The question is, have you done that? Have you put in all you can to build a business? Building a business is not easy. And especially at the beginning, and especially three, it's a startup. So a lot of people, they expect, they expect what some 10-year-old company would do, a 20-year-old, 30-year-old company can do. Yeah, but we are just starting up. But that's also the opportunity when very few people know. I was look, we just launched a product, for example, in August, Visage. And what's happening with its testimonials? It's fantastic. People are looking better, looking younger. I mean, I can see the difference myself. I have quite a few besides looking younger and tighter skin, more collagen, better skin health. Has some growth kind of subsiding. Sleeping better. I don't know, happier. I don't know, less stressed. It's fantastic. A lot of people, I'm getting the same stories over and over again. And they could be much more down the road, as it's the first neurocosmetic in the world. So, well, if it can be such a happy business, as only as it can be as only a happy business as you let it to be. Okay, I don't know if you know what I mean. Sometimes in life, we can put all the pressure on, but mainly, of course, the pressure comes from ourselves, right? But some of you out there say, Samson, I need to make money. Well, it also starts from your intention and how you go about it, because it is a people business. It is about how you share with other people. Today, one of my business partner asked me about, how to I go talk to cold market to talk to people I don't know. Can I ask does he know anybody who can train him? I say, yeah, I can definitely do that. because it doesn't matter warm market or cold market. Number one, you have to connect with the other person as a human being. There's a saying, it doesn't matter what you say. If they know that you don't care about, they won't listen to anything you say. They will only know that if you care, that they can have a conversation. And then conversation is also two-way street. So I just told him, look, one of the ways to connect with people is just by asking questions. Okay. And this applies all over the world. Doesn't matter warm market, cold market. Really put your heart out there and care about what the other person's going through or how they are, right? Like if you're going to talk to somebody you haven't talked to for years, you just say, hey, you know what? I was just thinking about you. It's been years since we connected. What have you been up to? How's the family? Are you still at the same job? Do you still live in the same place? What's been happening? Very little text, but let's make a time to catch up. That's how it is. If people don't want to catch up, there might be something wrong with them. If you are so good with your intention, yet they don't receive, well, I wonder if they're okay, to be honest, right? So, but this occurs all over the world. It doesn't matter what kind of platform or way you communicate. I will always suggest a phone call with a voice is much better because they can hear your sincerity, they can hear your urgency, they can hear your feelings and your tone when you call them up with their voice or leave voice messages. Much better than a text because that's very transactional and you lose a lot in the communication. Now, let's go to the PowerPoint. I want to just briefly go over and just give you an idea about this global landscape because it is global. Look, you hold the world in your hand because of the way the internet is now. You have a chance to talk to people around the world, connect with them. Many times, warm market, because there's a certain level of trust, is a lot faster and easier rather than cold market where it's like shooting in the dark. You have to be good at it, or you have to connect with a lot of people to just get the very few. Okay. But that's the opportunity here because when you have a global platform, you don't want to build a local business. But what you can do, though, is build local to go global. The idea of talking about three as an international business, and it is. That's why it's called Three International. Everybody in the world knows that we are connected now through the internet. Well, keep that on at the top of your head and say the same thing because it is a global platform. It doesn't matter if you built it or not, because if you don't say it, other people won't get it. Okay. The future is pretty much the road that we're on, this journey. And that's the question, where you want to be. Because you could be anywhere in the world. And like I said, people around the world wants exactly the same thing as you. Don't be afraid to ask, regardless of language, regardless of whatever. One thing I have to say that, as this trip was very clear to me that there are people who have a lot of excuses. They say, oh, I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure about that. That's just their own excuse because out of fear, they're not sure what to do. But come on. The only way to learn is by doing it. And let me tell you, yes, you can have the best scripts in the world, but the best scripts in the world don't fit everybody. So you kind of have to know about the human interaction. Just learn, get open, just communicate. I think, look, at the end of the day, if you have pure intention, it's like love. You have love, but other people don't receive your love. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Move on to the next person. Okay. And it is sometimes it's like climbing a mountain. It could be rough, like this landscape here. You could be climbing a mountain that has a lot of rocks, and that's okay. That's okay. You know why? Because the tougher you work it, the more you're gonna learn, and the faster you work it, the faster you're gonna get there. And in this journey, as you go, you got to adjust your sails to the future because as you might have some goals this day, today or next day. Look, you can shift those goals anytime, but you kind of, in the big picture of things, know what kind of life that you want to create from this business, right? If you see it as a side business, well, let's get that, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 down part time, right? If you see it as a full time, well, you got the sky's the limit. You got to do all that it takes. It was, like I said, it was very clear to me. Some people have a lot of excuse while other people do whatever it takes. Okay. So, because it could be a beautiful place at the top, like heaven. How would you like to stand at the mountaintop and look back and say, you know what? I walked this way and I've traveled around the world. Met the people. I've learned the cultures, and and this is where I am. I'm at the top. It's beautiful. But look, when you climb at the top and you look out at the beautiful sunset of building a global business, well, let me tell you, because I have been there. I've built all over the world in more than 100 countries. You're going to see something about humanity that you never noticed before. You would think that, you know what, my little town, my little state, my little country, oh my gosh, the world is so much bigger. People are so much more beautiful than I thought they could be. When we can get past the fear of competition, the fear of, oh, are they going to like me, or how am I going to connect with them, or do I even relate to them? Well, let me tell you, if you never take the time to relate to them, you would never have a global business. That's the truth. Okay. So in this business, we activate people, but you got to know what activates them to build the business. That we all have the same hopes and dreams. The thing is, if you never take the time to evaluate your life, how would you know what questions to ask the other person? And that's the truth. Because in the global landscape, yeah, each country, the economic conditions could be different, but if you never ask, you never know. And you never know, then how do you think you would understand what your international leaders would expect of the business, or the things that they expect to change their life, and how can they really have hope? You're the one who gives them the hope as a leader, and as a team, as a community. To build a global business in the global landscape, you need a system. You need to know what a system is. System can operate with or without you at the beginning. You have to use the videos, you have to use the small information, you kind of have to understand, or learn a good way to present what the big picture is of this business. All the details can be shared from videos or documents. Okay, that like products, right? You have the product, what's in them, clinical studies, the product dossiers. Like it turns out, it's like a 20-page long document of the clinical study about ingredients. You have Visage, you have certain clinical studies and videos. Those are the details. The compensation plan, that's the detail. All the information is on the website in the back office. For the details, you send the nitty gritty. But do not fire hose somebody. You just want to give them a drink. Do not give them too much. Yesterday, I had a partner, and he's a great guy. He's new to this industry. He loves to share people. He has a lot of credibility as a world champion athlete. Okay. So I kind of just briefly look, and he understood. No, the mind of a champion in any industry, or the things we do in life, is very similar. We all gravitate around certain principles. And he understood right away. So we tailored the message to a friend of his who's a nutritionist, for example. And I just told him, look, you just started your business. You're looking for, maybe a nutritionist to partner up with. And that was the truth. You a business partner with strategic background, that'd be great to build this global business together. And she would be the first one he would talk to. So you phrase it a certain way, and people, you respect them, they respect you, and let's talk it out. Is it going to work for either one of you? Or else he's going to look for another nutritionist, another trainer, maybe another doctor, and then maybe another business person, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a system. So actually, sometimes the less you say, the better. Your people need to use the system, then they can be independent. Also, like Zooms like this, we have have it archived on the Spark Global YouTube channel. That's part of the system. It's a resource for you to listen over and over again and really try to catch what we're trying to say. And that's the thing. I would have to tell you that to learn the system, because many years ago, 20 years ago, when I first met Kim, she would do training. I just didn't get it. I just still had the mindset of a store owner. Unless you really, really make a commitment to start from zero. Just try to sit there and listen without thinking. Just absorb it energetically. Just let the words come to you. Try not to think, almost like a meditation. You will slowly start to put the dots together and what we're really talking about. I know sometimes when you haven't been in the industry, but at the same time, like me, I'm from traditional business. I never try to, use industry specific terms, but I try to always relate to the average person so that each of you can understand. But a system is what is necessary to build a massive company. Nobody can duplicate Kim. Nobody can duplicate some of the top leaders in three. They all have their personality. They all have their style. They all speak different languages to a certain degree. They all have different work ethics, etc. It's not duplicatable. I mean, there are leaders in three who have been more than 40 years in the industry. How can you duplicate their experience? You can't. So all you can do is learn the basics, how to, the process of piquing interest and connecting with somebody, inviting them to some information, follow up to see if they're positive about it, and then show them the big picture if they are positive, and then make sure your leaders in the loop to work with them along the way to show them the way. Once they get started, well, ground them down with start with the wow book. That's what I recommend ASAP, so they know that it's not just bringing people to you. Oh, there's something called, you have to kind of figure out what you want out of the business. Oh, you actually have to set some goals. Oh, through this business is people know people. You got to write down your contacts. So those are some of the basic things. Get those things out of the way, then they can start inviting people the right way. And because that, it leads to automatic duplication, because they're going to open their network to you to help you so you can help them build their business together. That is a very simple system. Okay. All the tools are there for you, and all there is to learn, because on the global landscape, we're all the same. We have tools available in many languages to help you. So you got to work it. Like I said, you got to work it to get results. If you don't work it, you don't get results. Like a lot of people say, oh, I've only signed up 2 people. How many people you talk to? Oh, I talked to 5. I said, that's great. That's a 40% success rate. Come on, talk to another 5. That's how it is, right? If you're not getting the results you're getting, you got to sponsor more people. You got to go out and spread the business more, get more customers, get more business partners. That's what you need to do, because the existing people you have will only give you the results that you have now. So you got to go out there over and over again to expose people to the business, either the products, they either become customers or they become business partners. It's that simple. So, because to get to the top, yeah, you can get there by yourself, and that's I don't know anybody who has done that. Okay, you always got to get there as a team, and this applies to any business, not only our business. So you got to get there as a team, and that's the thing. There are leaders out there who follow the system to the T, but yet they're not getting the result, and because they forgot the other side of the system are people. If the people cannot come together to have synergy, you're not going to get the result that you want. So for me, I was sharing with people in Toronto and Chicago. The thing is, look, I learned to get along with everybody. Yeah, I learned to forgive and let go. And the more sometimes the more often you do that, the faster your business is run. Because at the end of the day, what do you want? Do you want to be right, like from your ego, or do you want to be rich because you did the wise thing and try to work the best with the people, respect them, and let people be who they are? Because it's like this, look, it's not everybody's ready for success, trust me. How we do something is how we do everything. So if you're not where you are now, you won't know. You will have to do something different to get to somewhere else. Does that make sense? Because if you only knew, right? That's right. Knowledge, guidance, wisdom, it accounts for a lot. And that's why at the end of the day, we all need to grow. Nobody is perfect. And I'm the first one to say I'm not perfect. But we try to be better every day, every day, every day. when I start saying that, oh, it's not about doubt, okay? When I start thinking that, am I doing the right thing? It's not about doubt. I'm just questioning, is there a better way to do things? So when I realized that, you know what, I could be right or I can be rich, I'd rather be rich. So I learned to just keep everybody moving in the same direction, promote events, promote the system, use the tools, guide them day after day after day. Look, if they don't want to be guided, they never call you. What are you going to do? To be honest, that's the thing that I find is one of the keys to success. Your proximity to successful people will determine your success. Why? What proximity? How close you're with them? Not only relation wise, but working wise. If you can have the best leader, but you never talk to them, you never call them, well, how are you going to learn? Right? So I figured that out for myself many years ago, and that's why I even when I found out when I realized how well Kim is doing. Not that she's already doing well, but as such a good friend, I say, you know what, hey, why don't I moved my apartment closer to Kim. So I took her to the meeting, ride together, drive together, took her to the airport, had more chance to talk. And over time, I really learned what's necessary. And I just did it over and over and over and over again. So if you haven't done that, if you're not where you are, that's a conversation you need to have. You never ask for a leader's time, you would never get it. All leaders are busy anyways. You got to ask for it. And for us as leaders, we are open. Look, if you don't ask for a time, our time goes to somebody else. And that's not saying you shouldn't contact us. You should if you want it. The question, if you want, like if today I was going to give you $100 cash. Everybody said, I want it, but how many people will reach out to actually get it, right? So, but it's only together, your proximity, and that's where the power is with those groups, okay? And at the end of the day, the world is very beautiful. We're trying to share a vision of global wellness, okay? And I think, not to talk about politics or anything, many of you know in the US, we had an election, and one of the now we know who won, but uh one of the most the points, the driving points of the successful winner was about health. We got to get back to good health. So for me, I think that's a very positive for our business. I see that the next 4 years minimum, there's a trend coming. The news about health, how we need to eat healthier, how the ingredient needs to be better, how other parts of the world are different than the U.S. and that also resonates for each of us all in the other parts of the world. The topic of health is going to come up over and over and over again. There's going to be a realignment. We are perfectly positioned with unique, groundbreaking, cutting edge products. And this topic about health, I'm so excited. There's much more we need to do on that side. Well, you know what? Maybe I'll give Dr. Dan a call after this. So, but all kidding aside, the global landscape is no different than your neighbor next door. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But you got to get in it, not on a superficial level, not on a transactional level, but a relationship level, because it's through relationship that you can be successful in what we call the sharing economy. People can only accept your share if you have a relation. So that's how it is. Okay. So build local, go global, build the business with your best intention, and be stubborn about it. Be persistent about it. And most important, be consistent about it. And be strong, because your intention, your stubbornness with your love for other people, your stubbornness to get your points across. People cannot wait. If they don't know, they cannot wait. Okay? Because to stay healthy, to stay proactively healthy, it says that you love yourself, because then you can be responsible to your family. So you love your family. As somebody is healthy and productive, automatically you love your community. All right. So God bless all of you. I hope that you got something out of this half hour. Look forward to seeing you somewhere in the world. All right. All right. Take care, folks. Thank you.